We should be good to go. All right, we're going to give TikTok a couple of seconds to get up. But if you're able to watch the replay, welcome. My name is Markia, aka the Money Plug, aka your credit specialist, favorite credit specialist. And today I really want to talk to you guys about how your credit score is calculated. So I just uploaded a YouTube that's going to go a lot more in depth than probably what this live is going to end up being. But if you definitely want to check it out, check out Instagram. I know you guys can't see it. It irritates me that I can't go live from my desktop for Instagram. But on my YouTube channel is WWTMPD. What would the money plug do? And on my channel, I just uploaded a video today called "How the fuck is credit scores calculated?" Because we all know we have credit scores. We all understand what's. Oh my God! Hey. We all understand that credit scores are important and blah, blah, blah. But how many of you actually understand how a credit score is calculated or where they even get the information to calculate these credit scores? So the video that I just uploaded on YouTube, is going to break that down. Unless you just posted it, like, did you just post your, whatever it is you're asking me to respond to? Because unless you just posted it, I've responded to all the posts from today. Okay. So it was literally like 15 minutes ago. Okay. So no, I haven't even seen it yet. Let me see. I'll go to it and read it out loud. Maybe somebody may have the same thing. I am disputing with the collection agency directly and sent the letter a few days ago. Today, I get a debt collector call who claims she was calling on behalf of the original creditor. I never confirmed that I was myself, but I told her she has the wrong number, and she repeated, so I have the wrong phone number, and I said yes, and she said okay. Did I do this correctly by not directly answering her when addressing my name? So yes and no. Pretty much what's going to end up happening is that they're probably going to write that they couldn't contact you via phone in the system. And then they're going to end up, if they're not already reporting to the credit bureaus, they're going to end up reporting to the credit bureaus now. Or what's likely going to end up happening is they're going to be like, well, we tried to contact you to go over the results of the dispute. This is the information we have, kind of deal with it. Like, they're not going to investigate kind of thing. It's illegal, first of all. Whenever you initiate a dispute with anybody, the credit bureaus or a lender directly, they have to investigate whether you answer the phone or not. Now, you answering the phone, me personally, I typically tell people not to answer the phone. And the reason why is because you were really smart, but for those of other people, not saying that you're not smart, but for a lot of people, they'll trip you up into validating the debt. So validating that the information that they're reporting is true, such as like your name, your phone number, your address, that could lead to them saying, well, if all of this information is correct, then this information is correct also. Or they could just literally just trip you up and get you to agree that the debt is actually valid and that you're going to eventually make a payment. Because if you do that, for most of you, depending on what state you live in, it will reset the statute of limitations for that debt. So now, no matter how old that debt is, they now have longer to sue you for the debt that they're saying that you owe. Now, for you specifically, Jalen, what I'll say is you didn't do the wrong thing. You did not confirm who you were. You told them they had the wrong number. What I would do if they do respond to your debt validation request, what I would do is in your response to them, no matter how you respond, make sure that you specify that you want all correspondence between you and this debt collector in writing. It's not that you want to cut off all contact with a debt collector, because that's not helping anybody. You don't want to cut off all communication, but you do want to make it so that any communication between you and a debt collector is in writing. Remember, anything is writing. It's considered a legally binding document in court. So if it goes that far, or if you have to file a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and you need evidence, then you'd be able to use these emails or letters that you received from them, like the back and forth, as evidence for your case. So you didn't do the wrong thing. Just make sure you let them know, like, all right, well, don't call me. Anytime you need to say something to me, you need to put it in writing. I hope that answered your question. I'll still put it in the comments too when I get off the live. I just didn't get a chance to see it before I went live. But yeah, so how it usually, excuse me, what's up? So how it works is whatever questions you guys got, you throw them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them or give you guys at least a resource where you can get your questions answered. But I don't really have any updates. I know I just talked to y'all on Friday, but like I said, I did upload a YouTube video today. The blog is this much closer to being complete and like moving over my website. What else I've been working on? The class is coming up. That's getting very interesting. Oh man, I just had such a busy week this week. I want to get a Navy Fed credit card, ? Okay. So what's keeping you from being able to get the Navy Federal credit card? Do you have like access with them? Yeah, I need a more detailed question in order to answer that one. Oh, you're so welcome, Jalen. I just opened an account. So to be honest, and I had somebody ask me this the other day, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I got my loan through Navy Federal for like my car loan, I literally opened up an account with them and applied for my loan on the same day. I know some people tell you gotta wait a specific amount of time, but I personally did not. So I know that you don't have to. However, some people do suggest that you just like wait a little bit before you go ahead and open a credit card or get a loan or something through them. But like I said, I know that you don't have to. I really feel like it's a preference thing. You can either wait or you not going to. But like, it makes no point to wait if you're not going to be actively using the checking or savings account, whatever it is that they opened up for you. It makes no sense to wait because what are you waiting for? There's no transactions going to be reporting. So it's no point. But if you're like, oh, I just want to show a little history so that they know I got a couple dollars in my pocket, just make sure that you're using it. Business account. What about a business account? This is a separate person. Business account. Okay, what about it? When you guys are putting your questions in the comments, make sure it's a detailed question, something I can actually answer. That'll help both of us. They asked me, did I want a credit card when I opened my account with Navy Federal? Yeah, you don't have, like, you literally don't have to wait. Now, I get why some people would tell you to, but you literally don't have to. Look, I'm doing good today, y'all. I got both screens up, going back and forth, make sure I'm getting everybody's questions. Here we go. Do you think they'll give me 25K limit, 760 TransUnion? So a lot of y'all will tell me y'all credit score and what credit bureau it comes from and think that that's enough information for me to determine whether or not you're going to get a card. I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't matter what your score is. If there are certain items on your credit report that are considered unsavory, you will still be denied. So there's a lot more that goes into the determination on whether or not you're getting this account than your score. This is why you all should not hyper focus on your score. So what I will say is you need to check all aspects. Remember, there's 5 categories in how your score is calculated. Payment history. Make sure you don't have any late payments or your last late payment is at least 2 years old. You want to make sure that your credit utilization for the credit cards you do have is low. You want to make sure that you have a good mix of accounts. You want to make sure that you don't have too many inquiries, that sort of thing. And you want to take into consideration your credit score. I feel like they're troll accounts too, low key. I know we're not talking charge-offs, but real quick, my charge-off was 7 years ago, but I've been disputing it since. Does that change how long it can be on my report? The updating? No. So it doesn't matter. And it's funny because I just did a TikTok about this the other day. Absolutely nothing can change the reporting time on a debt. Not paying it, not it transferring to collections and you paying it there, nothing. Nothing can reset the reporting time for a debt. Now, what can be set by your disputing is the statute of limitations. The statute of limitations is how long a company has to sue you. But a lot of states have been coming out with protections against what they call zombie debt or dead debt. So it makes it harder for a lender to reset the statute of limitations. So I would check I would check your state's requirements on like what is needed in order to re-age an account as far as the statute of limitations. But as far as how long it's going to be on your credit report, it is 7 years from the date of first delinquency. So the first missed payment that led to the charged off account. I'm having problems with getting a late payment off my credit. It is with Citibank. I had to put in multiple disputes, but they keep declining my dispute. So a lot of you don't understand that late payment disputes are different than regular disputes. Regular disputes hinge on the fact that something is reporting inaccurately, incorrectly, there's an error, or a violation of your rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act or the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Now, with the late payment, you were in fact late. And if they have evidence to prove it, you were late. So you can't really unless you have evidence to support your claim that you paid it on time, you have to be very delicate with how you handle late payments, because you also don't want to sour the relationship that you have with that lender. So what I would suggest is something known as a goodwill letter. Like, you can send in a goodwill letter, which doesn't classify necessarily as a dispute. You're just asking for forgiveness. And if that doesn't get you anywhere, then what you could do is you could challenge it. First of all, if it's a Citibank credit card, right? One thing you can look at is look every month at when your monthly statements were available. Something that a lot of people don't know is that inside of the Fair Credit Reporting Act is something known as the Fair Credit Billing Act, or the FCBA. The FCBA states that it is illegal for a lender to report a late payment unless they can prove that they gave you access to your monthly statement no less than 21 days before the actual payment is due. Now, if you can provide proof that less than 21 days were available before your monthly statement, was sent to you, then you can use that to remove that one late payment for that month. But that's something that you would need to, this is why I kind of get on you guys about knowing the laws, or at least having that resource where you can go check. Otherwise, you wouldn't know that, right? Something else you could do is you could force them to validate the information surrounding the late payment, so that you're not necessarily disputing the entire account. What you could do is you can request a copy of your payment history and challenge each individual late payment that is reporting. So those are some options that you have for late payments. But remember, it's not like a regular dispute. So you kind of have to be careful with how you frame it, because you don't, like I said, you don't want to sour the relationship that you have with these lenders. Whatever questions y'all got, those are some really good situations. Florida sucks, so I know they ain't changing nothing. Thank you. Okay, so then if they don't update the statute of limitations, then you're good to go. I mean, they can't sue you, and then, they can't, it's going to fall off after 7 years from the date of first delinquency. So a lot of people, listen, just because you can't get something off your credit report doesn't mean that you failed when it comes to a dispute. It just means you got to look at it from a different perspective. I closed the card and I don't have a balance on it. So that still doesn't play a part. That doesn't change anything that I said to you. You still don't want to sour the relationship you have with them, because what if you decide to go back to Citibank one day, or Citibank buys somebody else out that you wanted an account with because you like their perks? You never want to sour the relationship that you have with a lender, because you never know when you might have to go back to them. I need to move this phone though, because I can't see these questions. Okay. Do you have to enter into a settlement with the credit union about a voluntary repo in order to get a 1099-C? So is it a 10? Yes, it's a 1099-C if I'm not mistaken. So with 1099s, sometimes it's not even, no, because even with a pay to delete, yeah, it could either be like a settlement or a pay to delete or whatever, but you have to make a payment in order to get that 1099-C. Now, I mean, if they completely forgave a debt, I would imagine that you would still get a 1099-C either way. It's whatever they forgave you. So if you settle and you only paid 20% of whatever the debt is, then on it, it'll annotate that you paid that 20%, but they forgave this amount if it's over a certain amount. So if you are forgiven for more than $600, I believe it is, then you get a 1099-C, whether money exchanges hands or not, because it's now considered income. How should I go about determining if I should get a personal loan versus a credit transfer to pay off my credit card debt? Ooh, that's a good question. So to be honest, this is literally a personal preference question, but it's also going to require some research. So what I typically tell people is, I want you to think about it like this. Everything needs to make sense. Like, the interest needs to be lower. The payment plan needs to look a little bit more attractive, so like, let's say a credit card is available to you 0% interest for 18 months for a balance of like $5,500. Now, you could either get a personal loan with an interest rate of, let's say, we'll give you 4%, right? Or you could transfer that balance to this credit card that has no interest for the next 18 months. Which one sounds the most attractive? The no interest for 18 months, because you're going to end up paying less as opposed to this personal loan. So this is one of those things where you weigh both options, and whichever one is more in alignment with the current state of your finances and just makes the most sense for you, that's the one you'll do. But typically the deciding factor for me is what the interest looking like. Like, am I even going to have interest? Like, that's usually the deciding factor for me. Does closing a card really change your credit score? Yes. But a lot of people don't understand that it's not just closing a card, right? So closing a credit card can change your credit score. Paying off a loan, even if you pay it off on time, paying off a loan can change your credit score. If a lender closes a credit card when you weren't ready for it, like you weren't expecting it, that changes your credit score. A lot can change your credit score. It's normal to have fluctuations in your score. And a lot of you obsess over the smallest point difference. But what you don't need is that huge swings in either direction, right? Because that can be a red flag for some lenders, especially if you're going in the wrong direction. Companies like Community and Synchrony, they see your score dropping too quick or you lose too many points too fast. They will not, first they'll try to like lower your credit limit, and then they'll just close it altogether and don't care. If I filed a complaint for a hospital debt with CFPB and it comes back that the debt is mine, are you asking me what are you supposed to do? Because once a debt has been validated, once it is proven that this is your debt and it belongs to you, your only options at that point is to enter some sort of settlement or arrangement or something like that. Now, since this is a hospital debt, what I would suggest to you is I would try to settle for the least amount as possible. Whenever I'm negotiating a settlement or even a pay to delete, I negotiate starting at 20%, period. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to take that deal, but they know I ain't got no money now. Like, I'm clearly showing you I ain't got no money if this is what I'm trying to pay y'all. So when you counter offer, don't go too high or you ain't getting nothing. Right? It kind of boils down to that. Now, with medical debt specifically, what has changed so far is that any paid medical debt instantly comes off your credit report. So the smallest amount possible, if you settle with them, that account will come off of your credit, period. No questions asked. So if I were you, I would reach out to this company and try to settle for the least amount possible. That way it can just come off. You're so welcome. I got a vehicle and they pulled my credit twice on the same day. Can I get them to remove it? Yes. So the thing you're going to want to look at is the law of permissible purpose. It's a part of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or the FCRA. And the law of permissible purpose states that a company must have your consent or your written authorization that you gave them permission to pull your credit. If they cannot produce the evidence or whatever to substantiate their claim or the authorization, then they have to remove the inquiry associated with your account. Now, what I will say is that you do not want to dispute any inquiries that are tied to accounts that you actually opened up, because that could lead to the accounts being closed due to suspected fraud. But if you did not open the account and you have these inquiries on your credit report, challenge them, because if they don't have the proper documentation to support their claims, it has to come off. So it kind of works in your favor. These are some really good questions, y'all. Come on, give me some more. Give me some more. Give me some more credit questions. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Woo. What? Y'all don't got no more questions for me? What? It's only Monday. I'll give it time. I'll truly give it time. Woo. Oh, I knew I'm going to tell y'all something. One of my videos got taken down on TikTok. I did appeal it, and I'm pretty sure it's back up by now. But one of my videos got flagged on TikTok for the series that I do. Hey, Raquel, I was looking for you, girl. And I just want to reiterate something. So if you've been on my page or if you've been following me for a while, on my page in the playlist, there is a playlist called To Catch a Credit Guru. And if you watch the beginning of the series, I used to call myself like the Credit Chris Hansen, right? And I would go around and find videos on TikTok and disprove them, like on Mythbusters or something like that. And so what I didn't make clear early on is that I'm not attacking these creators. I'm attacking the content that they chose to spread, but at the same time holding them accountable, because at some point you have to be responsible for the content that you're putting out, especially if you're purporting yourself to be an expert or a professional in a certain field. If you are a subject matter expert, I expect the information that you're putting out to be accurate. And so it's nothing wrong with me holding you accountable. And no time am I considering myself a bully. I'm not aggressive when I come at people. And it's literally, I'm focusing on the content, not the person. So I just want to make it abundantly clear. I'm not picking on people. I'm not bullying smaller accounts or nothing crazy like that. What I am doing is I'm holding people accountable for the content that they're putting out, especially in relation to personal finance. When it comes to your credit, the wrong information can literally hold you back years, if not like a decade or so. So it's very important that the information that you all are consuming on these public platforms is accurate. And so I call it out. If it offends you, I'm not the page for you. I don't do it often, but I do it enough for you to know that, yes, this information that you guys are getting on social media is really cool, but you guys should be getting off of social media and doing your own research. So let's see. Applied for a credit card and got denied. So you need to figure, so number one, whenever you apply for an account or insurance or a job or anything like that, and they use your credit, and that is the reason why you got denied, that is something known as an adverse action. And whenever an adverse action is taken against you, they have to send you something known as an adverse action notice. So what's going to happen is they are going to send you a letter or an email or a notification in the system, and they're going to tell you exactly what on your credit report or what exactly happened that got you denied. So if I were you trucking with us for life, right? If I were you, I'd wait for that letter to come through and study it. Look at exactly what they said made them say no to you, fix it, and then reapply. I was finally able to open an account with Navy Federal. Oh, congratulations, Angie. Oh, that's huge. Have you heard this new thing about getting all your car payments back? Okay. Yes, I have, and it's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. And there's a particular creator who has blocked me by now, but I was in their comments, like literally trying to tell people like, this is not accurate. This is not going to work. And people were trying it and trying it and trying it, and it did not work. At this point, all I can tell people is this is natural selection at its finest, I feel like, because I'm not taking advice from, I can't just take an advice from strangers who have done nothing to prove the authenticity of the information that they're sharing. Do you see what I'm saying? That's like me coming on here one day and giving y'all advice on how to wax your hoo-ha, right? I am not an esthetician. That's not my profession. Just because I do it don't mean that I'm good at it, that sort of thing. So you guys have to be very cognizant and careful. And I say it all the time, you have to practice discernment with the information that you are consuming from these websites. One thing that I pride myself on, especially in the Facebook group, is I'm not just answering your questions. I'm giving you access to the resource that you can go check this out yourself. I've provided copies of the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act in my Facebook group. I do monthly workshops where I'm passing out information. So it's not just about you guys listening to me. It's about you guys getting access to this information, because all of the real information exists. You just don't know where to find it yet. But we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. Federal score went down from 250 to 150. I had the pledge loan. I have a secure card, just did 2 pledge loans. I have no hard inquiries. So you're telling me stuff, but that's still not giving me like the best picture of what they said no to you for. If they sent you a letter and you don't understand the things in the letter, there should be a number that you can contact and actually talk to someone about this, because you can also request something known as a redetermination. If you really feel as though the items that you have on your credit report indicate a good credit profile and you shouldn't have been denied, what happens is someone actually takes a closer look at your profile to determine whether or not you were denied by accident, right? Because it's a system that does it, not a person. So it could be possible that in that automatic filtering system, you just kind of slip through the cracks. Can you request an interest rate reduction on credit cards legally? Can they legally say no, even though you have no late payments? Yes and yes. You can ask for whatever you want from a creditor. It's up to them and their policies that they have in place as far as what's going to happen. So yeah, you could request send in a formal request for a reduction in your interest rate, and legally they can tell you no, because it's more than just your late payments that got you denied. So the fact that you have no late payments, clearly that's not, what's used to deny you. But again, whenever you are denied, this is considered an adverse action. And so whenever you get an adverse action, you get an adverse action letter. So I would read that letter when you get it, so it can tell you exactly what led to them saying no. And if they don't automatically send it, you can request it. but they approved my auto loan. It makes no sense. Something else that you have to understand is that there's multiple credit scores. So what one score is and what qualifies you for one type of loan or debt is different than something else. So for example, there are bank card scores and then there's your auto score. So while your bank card score might be low or whatever it was you applied for might be low, your auto score probably was high because it has a different percentage as far as the 5 categories that are used to calculate your credit score. So what it sounds like, right, is that it's kind of a miscommunication between you and Navy Federal as far as what exactly are they looking for the accounts and where do you sit kind of on that spectrum. You should be able to contact the number. There's a phone number that should be on your adverse action notice. And once you get on there and look at it and give them a phone call, you explain to them how you don't understand why they denied you. And someone should be able to break it down for you. But for real, that's why when you say your credit specialist, favorite credit specialist, because people can tell you what to do all day and you still don't understand where you went wrong, and then boom, yeah, you're right. I just opened my account up in July 2022. How long should I wait to apply for a credit card with Navy Federal? It doesn't matter how long you've been a client with Navy Federal. What truly matters is your credit history. So that means you're going to have to do a little digging. You need to do some research to see, hey, what credit scores do Navy Federal check for this credit card? And then you're going to want to go look at that exact score of yours. So if they say they check your FICO Bank Card 8, you from Experian, right? Then you need to go check that and see exactly what that credit bureau is saying about you. So, and what they're going to end up telling Navy Federal about you to make sure that you kind of beat that. Rebuilding. Next steps after adding new charge-offs and 4 collections. Which one to gain points? I'm sorry. Charge-offs, collections are out of the statute of limitations. I'm confused because first you said rebuilding and then you said repairing. And if you got a fresh charge-off and 4 collections, you're not going to be able to add any new accounts whatsoever. You're going to have to focus on, I would prioritize the collections first and then the charge-off, because 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to be able to get I'll lower it. 7 times out of 10, you probably won't be able to get the charge-offs off, but the collections are a little easier to manipulate. Plus, if it's medical debt and it's a collection, then it'll automatically come off your credit report. And if it's not medical debt, what you can try to do is negotiate something known as a pay to delete, which is where in exchange for either a portion of or all of the money that you owe them, they'll remove it from your credit report. So prioritize the collections first and then try to see if you can find something wrong with the charge off and how it's reporting to remove them. File bankruptcy and car loan on my credit report. How do I remove? With a bankruptcy, it's a very long process. It could take up to a couple months to do, but with a bankruptcy, you're going to try to restrict the third-party credit reporting agencies' access to your public record or whatever, or at least restrict their access to the big 3. And if you can do either one of those things, this makes it so that TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian cannot validate that bankruptcy. And the same thing with the car loan. So if they can't validate it, it has to come off. Now with a car loan, you really want to try to find some kind of inaccuracy or something wrong in the way that it's reporting. But here's the thing, removing a car loan from your credit report could probably hurt you more than it'll help you, depending on whatever else you have on your credit report and how old the loan is. Because when you remove a car loan, you're removing everything associated with it, including all of the good history if you ever had any. So it's important that you know the consequences of that action if you do get the car loan removed. And it's also important for you to understand that just because something comes off of your credit does not mean it no longer exists. So if you're trying to buy a home and you filed bankruptcy previously, they'll still be able to see that in Cavers. So you might want to disclose that to a lender, right? And then for your car loan, it could potentially end up going to collections or you end up having to go to court. You need to make sure that by disputing it, you're not resetting the statute of limitations. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to end up in court. Where do I request it from Navy Federal? It's going to be on the letter they sent you. What type of profile I need for an Amex card? ? Score. So first of all, there are multiple Amex cards. So there's no like main score that I can give you. You didn't really give me any information. But you need a damn good profile. You need at least 2 years of very good payment history. You need a good mix of accounts. You need consistently low reporting utilization and a decent amount of income. It's a lot that goes into it. I called Navy Federal this morning and they told me to go inside my app and send the e-message. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Did President Biden forgive all student loans or are the payments just deferred? They're just deferred for now. 2 credit cards from the same bank. Instead of an increase on one, they offered me a third card with a higher limit. Why? Well, you have to ask them. I can't tell you why they did that. You can literally contact them and be like, hey, I was denied a credit limit increase. Can you tell me why? And they'll tell you exactly why. Like, they legally have to if you inquire why they denied you. I'm just wondering, have you ever seen this? I sent a dispute into Experian for a bankruptcy and they emailed me to call them. I'm 1,000% sure I'm not going to call. It sounds like a setup. You got to think like this. Businesses are always going to do what's most convenient for them. And maybe it is a scam. I've never heard of them emailing somebody and telling them to give them a call. If you have Experian online, which is likely how they got your email address, I would log into your Experian account, even if it's just a free one, to see if they sent you any kind of correspondence there. And then if you see it there, then I would contact them. Now, if you don't see it there, that means it's more than likely a scam. Had a 30-day late payment with Community. They said they would adjust it. How does that work? Pretty much they forgive that late payment and it should report as on-time payment history. Car was repoed 2 years ago. I'm scared to negotiate with collections. Would you go with a repair company? So I'm going to be honest with you. As someone who operates a repair company, I'm going to tell you, if you want to deal with this repo, like you want to get it off and it stay off, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to kick out some cash. A credit repair company, it's not that we do something special, right? It's not like we're going to magically make that repo go away or make it so that they don't contact you or that they screw you or don't screw you over. It's literally just, we just know like a tiny bit more, or we at least know where to find it. So what I would say is preference. You can either do it yourself, because who knows your finances better than you, right? So you can say, listen, I got this amount. This is all I have. What you think? That's all a credit repair company, or a good one anyway, is going to do, so that you don't have to worry about it coming back and biting you in the ass later. Because remember, just because it's off your credit report does not mean that you no longer owe. So a credit repair company worth their shit, right, would reach out and be like, listen, if you really don't want to deal with this anymore, you're going to have to pay it. Because it's not just the fact that this account was repossessed, right? It's not just the fact that you had late payment. It's not just the fact that the car is gone or whatever the case may be. It's the late payments leading up to it too, right? So that's affecting your credit score. It's the fact that the account was charged off. That's affecting your credit score. And it's the fact that you still have a balance. That's affecting your credit score. So all of those things are playing a part in the negative reporting of this account. Do banks use different third parties to check credit than we have? No. You have access to everybody they have access to. You just don't know where to find it. If you are active on Facebook, inside of my Facebook group, which is called Plugged in the Credit Clubhouse, you should see it floating around at the bottom somewhere. There is a document that has all of the consumer reporting agencies for the year 2022. I got it directly from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, who is charged with enforcing the FCRA. And if you're not on Facebook, it's available in my store. So if you click the link in my bio or go to themoneyplug.co, which you'll also see down at the bottom, inside the store, it's completely free. It'll say $0.00. You can download the Consumer Reporting Agency or CRA like little booklet. It's an ebook. You download it, it's a PDF, and it's clickable links too. So it's really cool because you can click on it, go to their websites. It has their email. If they have email addresses, phone numbers, and mailing addresses. So it's actually really cool. But you have access to all the third-party agencies they do. If a payment posts on the 30th day past the due date, is it still reported as 30 days late? No, because you have to be 31 days late. So on the 31st day, it'll report late. You just have to make sure that the time it posts is before like their end of day. On the letter, they had 3 parts of why I was denied. So you're going to have to break those 3 sections down to see what is something in that paperwork that they sent you. What is something you can fix? Hey. I already answered that. Eviction from 2017, what should I do? Okay, so you got a couple options, right? One, you could dispute it directly with the company who okay, so first let me ask this, is it in court? Because if you went to court, that's something different, because if the court ruled against you, like a judgment, right? Then that's likely going to be in the system, and that's public record. So it's really nothing you can do to kind of hide that other than like restricting third-party access to your credit reports. And eventually they're going to be able to find it again. By then it'll probably be falling off your credit report by the time it gets like to a point where you really care, I guess. Never went to court. That's even better. So if you didn't go to court and you just have like a balance owed, what you can do is you can reach out to the property management company for the property that you were staying at, and you can say, hey, I need a copy of my tenant file. When they give you a copy of your tenant file, you're looking for some very specific information. You're looking at your lease, and you're going to actually read your lease this time, right? Because a lot of people do not read their lease when they sign it. But in your lease, a part of the move out process is oftentimes is like the walkthrough, right? They walk through the apartment to see any damages, or they document any damages that they're saying that you did. And then, obviously they're going to charge you for them or whatever. So if that's a part of the move out process and it was never completed, or they don't have any evidence to support their claims, then you could argue that what they're trying to say that you owe is invalid. You can cast a shadow of a doubt on their claims, and then they got to work extra hard to prove it. You also just want to look for a copy of your lease, period. If they can't produce a copy of the lease, which is where you signed saying, hey, I'm taking on this debt, if they can't provide a copy of your lease, they cannot prove that you are the person who owes this debt, and you can use that to get it taken off. You see what I'm saying? So there's a couple things you could do. I do have a video on my profile. It's probably farther down. I'll write a note to do another eviction video this week so that I can kind of bring that information back to the top of the page and really break it down for you. But those are some of the options you have. Sent my debt verification to the debt collector, and they sent back paperwork, still sitting around too. Okay, so first of all, debt verification and debt validation are two different things. So you have to be sure you sent the right thing to them. Debt verification goes to the credit bureaus because a credit bureau can only verify, not validate. And what I mean by that is a verification is just confirming that the information that they're reporting is supposed to be reported. So what happens is you send a debt verification letter or a bureau reinvestigation letter to the credit bureaus. They reach out to the creditor, and the creditor says, yes, I meant to say that. And then they'll be like, okay, yeah, this is verified. Now, a debt validation letter goes directly to the creditor, and this is saying, hey, send me all the proof you have that I owe this debt and what the breakdown is for, right? And so when you send a debt validation letter, they're going to send you like all of the evidence they have. And so you're going to go through it, and you're going to go through all the documents, and you're going to see if they do have what they need to collect on this debt. If they do tie you to this debt and it validates that debt, your only option after that is to settle. That's your best bet. Now, remember, settling a debt, paying a debt, or whatever you want to call it, will not re-age this account. I know that is something that we've been preaching for a really long time, but somebody pointed it out to me, and I went and did the research. I actually did a TikTok on it and everything. But just because you make a payment, that does not reset the date of first delinquency, right? Because the date of first delinquency is the same every time. So I don't have a Facebook account. I have TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. If you're the person who I was talking about the CRAs, then it's available in my store. I said that. If they sent back paperwork, so round two, I guess I'm confused on what round two is, because round two is just the next level, but you have to choose how you're going to dispute that information now. You get what I'm saying? Like round two is a thing, but there's no set letter for round two. There's a lot of different letters you could send in round two. So what is your round two you're asking about specifically? What if they have your social security number wrong on your Experian report? Then you need to reach out and fix it and provide them with a copy of your actual social security card, preferably without a signature. But yeah, you might want to get that fixed. One was hard inquiries, only one. So it's not that. That's false info though. So then you need to fix that. What can we do if our social security, I already told you. I used your letter to dispute the address update, and instead of mailing, they sent me an email to dispute. That's normal. If you have an online account with them, then inside, like when you were signing up, you gave them consent to email, like to message you or communicate with you electronically. And that is why they're emailing you, not mailing you stuff. It just makes it easier for them. Now, if you want to revoke their access to emailing you electronically and all that stuff, like contacting you electronically, you would have to log into your account and go through your settings and do it like that. I was informed a credit card was closed because the partnership ended with the company and the bank. Do I still make payments? Yes, because you still owe the money. It's just that they're going to close the account so that you can't make any new charges. So when I disputed off Verizon, they sent me to Jefferson Capital. They couldn't verify, so they stopped collection efforts. So now I'm wondering, who do I settle with? Verizon? So here's the thing about Verizon. They are assholes, right? So you are supposed to settle with Verizon, but just know, man, like you might run into some issues after you pay trying to get it off. It's completely normal. If you I don't know if you're on Facebook, but if you are and you're in the group, you'll see that Marcus has been struggling with Verizon for a while. But if Jefferson Capital is no longer collecting on it, then it likely reverted back to the original creditor or they sold it to somebody else. So you could contact Jefferson Capital to ask them who owns the debt now. And then if they have an answer, they should give it to you. If they don't have an answer, you should be able to contact Verizon and they'll be able to tell you. Is there a difference in what you're looking for when you validate a charge off with an OG creditor versus a collection? I have one where a company literally only ever responds, we sold your account, nothing else. If that means that, if they saying that's not a debt validation though, no matter what I ask them for, and the bureaus are still saying verified, like Houseway. So here's the thing. A lot of y'all get caught up on the fact that bureaus are saying verified. All they are doing is reaching out to the company like, yo, did you mean to tell me this? Yeah, okay. They meant to tell me that. That's all the credit bureaus do. The credit bureaus low-key have no power outside of enforcing the FCRA once it's brought to their attention, evidence-wise, that a company fucked up, right? So it's important to kind of start there. So there's really no difference. Well, outside of the fact that I'm looking for a little bit more from a collection company. So for me, I'm also looking to make sure that this collection company can collect in my state. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for proof that you bought this account from whoever you bought it from and what you like. Okay, so how much was the account when you bought it? I need to make sure you didn't add on any interest. And I need to see all the documentation to support whatever it is you're about to tell me. So I do look for a little bit extra when it's coming from a collection company as opposed to like the original creditor, but that's just me. Fix what? The hard inquiries. There was none on my TransUnion, but Navy Federal letter says too many when there was only one. So then you need to fix your consumer report or whatever consumer report like they had access to. My answer is never going to change. You need to contact Navy Federal. Navy Federal can tell you what exactly they saw, what credit report they used, what credit score they saw, and what exactly on those reports made them tell you no. But if you feel as though something is wrong, you'll have to dispute that with the credit bureaus and the creditors who is reporting it. If I check my credit score for my credit card, is that bad for my credit? No. Checking your credit score yourself does not do anything to your credit score. But when a lender pulls your score, that's when it affects you. And they say updated, but it's really the same information. Updated, no change, just says updated with the wrong info. Yeah, because it's not up to them to determine whether or not the information is correct. All they can do is just report it so that when the shit hits the fan and it comes out that they're reporting inaccurate information, the credit bureaus can easily claim plausible deniability. I'm just doing what you told me to do, right? Whereas the actual information is responsible, like the original company is responsible. What are your thoughts about paying to have your rental history on your credit report? I support it 1,000%. More people should have their rental history reporting to their credit report. Look how excited I got. I set up, right? More people should have their rent reporting to their credit report. And it's been a while since I've done a video. So actually, let me write that down too, because it's a while since I've done that as a video. So let me write this down. I need to do a video on evictions. And I need to do a video on rent reporting. But the reason why is because, right, like a lot of people who have bad credit or have no credit, really, the biggest issue is that they don't get access to accounts that will help them build that credit history because of where they are currently. So about the more accounts that you add to your credit report that provide that on-time payment history, so utilities, subscriptions, rental history, and things like this, that stuff could help build your credit profile because it's reporting that on-time payment history that you need. Do you recommend certain websites to use? Me personally, I use BoomPay. I think that's really cool. I've also done business with rent reporters. They're fine. But the biggest things that I tell you guys when you guys are doing rent reporting is make sure that they are reporting to all 3 credit bureaus or as many as possible, right? And see if they can report history. I know BoomPay goes back like, 2 years or something like that. You just got to pay a little extra for it. But yeah, you just want as much of that history as possible. I wish the Federal Trade Commission regulated TikTok credit repair so experts. Fun fact, and I can't wait to pop this bubble with viewers. The credit repair industry is heavily regulated. We are bound by not only the FTC, but we are also bound by something known as the Credit Repair Organizations Act. And the Credit Repair Organizations Act outlines what credit repair companies can and can't do and can and can't say. TikTok is also very, very, very aggressive with the things that are not allowed in their communities. So if you violate their community guidelines in any way, shape, or form, you can say goodbye to your profile. Every time I call them out on stuff, they block me for exposing them. Yeah, I've had that happen to me a lot too. More recently, probably like 2 weeks ago, I did a video on a girl who was telling people that if you tell a debt collector that you're not going to pay or something like that, then then they can't collect, or like they need your permission or something like that. And I did a video saying why that was not true, and I got blocked. I have no debt but my car loan and I can pay it off. Should I do that or keep showing payment? So that's a preference question. So a lot of people will tell you like, oh, pay it off, right? Because you want to lower your debt to income ratio. You want to increase how much money you have available to you every month, especially if you have like savings plans, right? But some people don't care about all that kind of stuff. They're just like, look, I got the money now. Do I pay it off or not? I'm really not looking for stuff. I'm not looking to add nothing to my profile or anything like that. So sometimes it would, be in your best interest to go ahead and pay it off. Now, the only time I would not suggest paying off a car loan, right, is if you're not already on track to do so, and it's within 6 months of you going to buy a home. So, and what I mean by that is, let's say you just got a lump sum of money somewhere and you're close to closing for your house. Like you found a house, everything's going good, you got pre-approved, and you are about to close in like a couple of weeks, but you come into some money and you're like, yo, I could pay off my car and, that'll help me out. What's actually going to end up happening is your credit score is going to drop temporarily because you are paying off an account. This account is now moving from an open, actively reporting account to just history. And there's going to be no updates after it's completely paid off. It's not that you did something wrong. It's just that now your credit profile has to adjust, right? It has to adjust to the loss of this account. And so it's going to be fluctuating a little bit. So I don't suggest doing that within 6 months of you closing on your home. But this is also one of those preference questions. Like, this is something you'll have to decide, like, these are my goals. Will this get in the way of achieving my goals? Anyway, sis, I have business accounts with Navy. What's the play on commercial loan approval? Are you generating a credit score for your business yet? Let me ask you that first. Hey, girl. What? Oh, okay. I thought I read that wrong. I thought I read that wrong, but I had already read that comment. Sorry. What you mean? I'm not sure. So first of all, every business, how do I explain this? So there's personal credit and personal credit scores, right? And then there's commercial lending and commercial credit scores or business credit scores. First thing I want you to do is go on Dun & Bradstreet. If you look on there and try to find your business or try to claim your business, right, to see what are lenders saying about you. Have you ever opened up trade lines in your business name, like things like that? And if you have, it will generate a history. Now, you need a certain amount of history before you can calculate a credit score. It's the same with personal credit. Like, it literally moves parallel to personal credit. It's just that unless you sign on as a personal guarantor for any of your business accounts, then you probably won't see any of your business accounts on your personal credit. I have an 80 pay dex. Oh, okay. So then what you mean? So you should be able to apply. Are they still telling you that you need a cosigner or a personal guarantor? Because I tell people all the time, you should not cosign for anybody, and that includes your business. How can you lower a car payment without getting rid of that vehicle and getting a different car that's cheaper? There's a couple ways, right? So one is refinancing. So what I typically tell people is the guideline for refinancing is you have to look at what your credit profile was when you first got your car, right? And look at it now. If you have seen significant improvement in not only your score, but the actual credit worthiness of your profile, then apply apply to refinance. Like, the worst thing they can tell you is what? No, or give you some terms that aren't exactly attractive to you. So what? You won't know what you'll get until you start kind of throwing a hook out, right? And then two, now this is for my military people. I know you're not military, but this was something that I did. And I've talked about it previously, so I'll probably do a video on it, probably not. But so what I did was, there's something known as the Service Member Civil Relief Act. So if you are parents, right, and you have children who are considering getting into the military, this might be something that you guys want to look into. So the Service Members Civil Relief Act is something that was generated for service members while they are on active military service, to help with the financial burden of debt, right? So anything with an interest rate, anything that you have signed up for, signed on, and all that stuff, that has an interest rate. The day you get onto active military service, they have to lower your interest rate to less than 6%. So what I did was I bought a car from Nationwide Kia in Lutherville, Maryland, right? I think it was Lutherville and Linthicum. They're so close together. But Nationwide Kia, I went in 2016 and I bought a 2016 Kia Soul. And my credit at the time was in the fives. It was in the tank, like bad. And I had to put down I think I put down like 3,000, but the car, those cars were pretty cheap. So it's like 18 off top, plus all the extra shit. And so my interest rate was like a 20-something% interest. I want to say like 22% interest rate. And I paid it on time every month. However, this was in February when I bought my car. In July of 2016, my active duty contract was accepted from the reserves. And so I transferred over to active military service. Because I was transferring over to active military service, legally, they had to not defer, right? But literally they had to lower my interest rate to less than 6%. And that is what my interest rate stayed for the remainder of my loan, because I was on active duty for the remainder of the life of the car. So that was like the ultimate finesse. Any debt that you accumulate prior to active military service that has an interest rate. So you buy a house, you buy a car, student loans. And if you're married, this goes for your spouse as well. Or if you have co-signed with somebody on a debt, this applies to the person who is on that loan with you. But once you enter active military service, the SCRA states that you can get your interest rate lowered to less than 6%. It's not negotiable. So that's another way you can do it for those of you who are military or thinking about being in the military or got kids who are going in the military. That's just something that I did because I just knew how to finesse. Is there such thing as too many credit cards? Yes. In my opinion, too many credit cards is when you have credit cards that you're not using. It means you got too many. You make me regret not going to the military. I'm dead. Kind of off subject, but are we still on for September? I ain't never been so ready to study something. So we are. It might be pushed back because for those of you who don't know, I'll be going to FinCon this year. So it might be pushed back until I come back from FinCon. So like around September 15th, but it is coming out in September. Also, the letter in the mail said he has multiple delinquencies. How do we clean that up? Because all he has is one collection account. Home buying is so stressful. So you're going to have to I would suggest pulling some third-party reports because it could be something that, I don't know, multiple delinquencies, like late payments maybe. Do you guys have a lot of lates? That could be a thing. I don't know. If I were you, I would print out his entire credit report and highlight anything you see that could potentially be misconstrued as negative. Well, maybe not misconstrued because it's the truth, but anything that could be labeled as negative. And then tackle those one by one. Late payments, high utilization, anything like that. Just started learning about money. Any basics or fundamental knowledge I got to study. That's such a broad question. That's way too broad of a question in all honesty. Because when you talk about money, it's a lot of stuff that you got to talk about. You're going to have to talk about generational trauma in regards to financial wellness. You're going to have to talk about financial wellness. You're going to have to talk about your personal relationships that you have with family and with money. And, it's a lot. So that's a really general question. One book that I will say that I've enjoyed the multiple times that I've read it, damn, it's still in my suitcase, is The Budgetnista. Well, it's Tiffany Aliche, aka The Budgetnista. And I think her book is called like Get Good with Money or something like that. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see I posted it on National Book Lover Day. But that's a really good book to read. Any of her content actually is I love just watching her stuff. I've done the credit challenge years ago. I did her savings challenge years ago, that sort of thing. So she's a really good resource. I would say start there. Yeah, if you're starting this whole thing with money. What's the question marks for? I have a 78 Paydex and have only built business credit with NAV. What should I do next? This means you need to be opening trade lines in your business account. It kind of works the same way as your personal credit, right? You have to build your credit somehow. I'm one of those people, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't do co-signing at all, and that goes for my business as well. If you requiring me to be a personal guarantor, that just means my credit not up there yet, and I don't need this account. I'll go to the next one. But you want to make sure that you're opening accounts with companies that are going to what? I'm ignoring them. So I saw what you said, trucking with us for life. I'm ignoring them. But yeah, so you want to build your credit outside of you having to sign for it. So like Sam's Club, a gas card. So Wex, that was a really good one that I got. Like, I think I started generating a damn Paydex probably like 3 months after I got that. Just getting more lines of credit, Quill, Uline, that sort of thing. Starting with those and kind of working your way up as you generate a score and the score improves, right? So that's the best piece of advice I give you guys. I don't really advise on business credit. I keep saying I'm gonna start doing it, but no, you don't have to mute them. They disappeared. It was just a troll. Oh, I love my moderators. Is it true that when you have a super high credit score in the 800s that you get sent credit cards in the mail? Don't all y'all credit cards come in the mail? Huh? What I will say is the higher your credit score is, the more access you get to things that other people don't. Like, y'all remember when the X1 card came out and you could only get it if you got an invitation from them? And then like they started allowing people to send out invitations and it was super exclusive and da-da-da-da. You'll get this. It doesn't matter what your credit score is. Somebody's going to be sending you something trying to get you to sign up with them. But the higher your credit score is, there are some very it's not that you get the credit cards without applying for them. They'll send you like a little demo credit card and be like, hey, you're pre-approved for this, homegirl. Why don't you sign up for us? But you know, I did the video that talks about how pre-approved does not mean approved. You can still apply and be denied, right? No matter what your score is. And just because they send it to you don't mean that you need it. That's also another thing. But yeah, that's true. They'll send you a bunch of cards. Like if you are ever somebody who had bad credit and you start getting good credit, right? You're going to start getting a bunch of pre-approvals and shit in the mail. Oh, thank you. So don't think you only going to get them once you hit the 800. It don't matter what your score is. They're going to send them. You qualify for it, they're going to send it. Navy said they pay 75% for the semi-truck. Whoa. What? I didn't know that. You know, I used to drive trucks. Beep, beep. I did not know that. I just found out my credit score is now 827. Blown away. Oh my God. Congratulations. What other credit questions y'all got for me today? Thanks for telling me about Boom Report. You're so welcome. It should be on my website under affiliate links too. It should have a link on there for that. What other credit questions y'all got for me? Girl, yes, I love Boom Pay. Now I hear myself talking somewhere. Oh, right here. So what score you think I need to pull TransUnion for business with Navy? I think it depends on what you're asking for. Like, and trucks are pricey, so I don't know. See, that's why I don't advise on business credit, because there's so many things go into this. I don't know, but that's a good question. I wonder what Paydex score you need. I mean, with something like that, you need 50K, and they paying 75%. I know you damn sure you're definitely going to need like a history of some, like if you're not willing to co-sign for your business, right? You're definitely going to have a good Paydex score, or you are definitely going to have some kind of proof of income. So like business transactions. Cammy, I only see due to loss of income. What's the first part of your question? I think Instagram filtered it out. Okay. That's a really good question. Hey, girl. Let me go back, make sure. Can you repeat the business account that started with an S? I said a business account that started with an S. I said Wex, Uline, Quill. I said one that start with an S. I got a list. I'll post. You're on Facebook. I'll post the list on Facebook. Let me write that down. I got a list on one of my computers. Y'all know I got 1,000 computers in here. Oh shit, my iPad about to die. And I don't got no charger in here. Jesus. Post business credit. Is it time to sue Equifax yet? Okay, so from what I'm seeing, they finally released like the exact dates for the people that were affected, and it's only if you apply for specific things in that time. So you and I are going to talk because I saw that you scheduled a check-in. So we're going to talk at your check-in to see if we can finesse that. I'm showing money going into the business account. So you got a high chance of, getting it. But like I said, the worst thing that can happen is they'll tell you no, like they did with the other thing. And then they'll tell you exactly why they told you no. So then you can take it and change those things or fix those things, whatever that is, and then reapply. Okay, so it was WEX, W-E-X. WEX, that's a gas card. Due to loss of income within my household, I got behind on a lot of things. Gone and lost major points. Should I wait until I rebound financially to start rebuilding again? No, because when you're rebuilding, the one thing a lot of people have to understand is it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be fun, but the sooner you start rebuilding, the better. Because remember, you need to show them a pattern of good financial decisions. And the only way you can demonstrate a pattern is by having an account reporting, right? So you need to make sure that you have some kind of accounts reporting. They approved WEX with no PG. Yeah, facts. WEX is a business credit. It's like a business credit card for gas that you can get without having to co-sign for your business, and it helps you to generate a business credit score. But yeah, man, I love my little Wawa card. Okay. But no, you should be adding all the accounts that you can now. Like, I'm not saying go out and open a bunch of credit cards, but what I am saying is if you have the ability to open up some accounts, look into it. I don't know if you downloaded the credit, it's like the Credit Cliff Notes PDF or something like that in the Facebook group, and it's on my website in the store. But all the way at the end, there's 3 sections for rebuilding. There's one for rebuilding secured cards, rebuilding unsecured credit cards, and then the prepaid cards. Those 3 cards might be beneficial. Those 3 pages, might be beneficial to you because it lists cards that you should qualify for whenever you're ready to start adding new accounts. And prepaid cards are really cool because they're like credit cards in the sense that they report to the credit bureaus, but it's not like a credit card in the sense that it's actually a debit card. So you put money into the account, and every month that you use the account, it'll report on-time payment history. It's WEX, W-E-X. I heard that too, but I can't confirm it, Trucking. So he said that I heard you add a term loan on your EIN to get that commercial loan. I heard that too, but I don't know, bro. I can't confirm or deny that. So I have an EIN, but not a business checking account. Do I need to wait to apply for a WEX gas card? So, no. You don't have to. Well, I'm maintaining the accounts that I can, but some I had to take a loss on to keep our basic needs. Just sucks because I worked so hard. Now I got to start over. But you get to start over. And y'all know I'm real heavy on that credit doesn't make you a bad person. It don't make you stupid. It don't mean that, it just means you fucked up. Like it's life and it happens. But you have enough knowledge to know that you can recover from this. You just got to start now. That's all. Life is going to knock you down a couple different times. What's the ally play? Y'all still fucking with ally? Y'all wilding. I don't usually advise on business credit, but I have a couple like little screen grabs and stuff that's saved on one of these laptops. I'll find it and post it in the Facebook group and on like Instagram or something. But I usually don't advise on business credit, but I do know what you're talking about. So I'll post the screen grabs that I have because I haven't tried it. So I can't tell you my experience. How long have I been live? Okay. It's eye-opening because I was able to dig deep with my relationship with money. I tell people that all the time. Like, it's not enough to just to just fix your credit. You really have to delve deep. Like, what made me make these decisions? What is my relationship with money? Why am I spending every time I get upset? Why am I afraid to get credit cards? Why this? Like, you really have to evaluate the relationship that you have with your financial wellness just in general, and your mental health even, because your mental health can cause your credit to take a hit. So it's really interesting to see people go through that experience, because, you know, I'm on the outside looking in. I know how my experience felt, but it's really cool being on the outside looking in and kind of seeing people have these aha moments, right? Those moments, hey, T girl, those moments where they're like, damn, like, I never realized that I did this, but now that I know this, I can change this and really heal those wounds and things like that. So it's really cool to see. What is the Facebook group name? So if you look at the bottom of your screen, you should see it scrolling at the bottom. My DIY help Facebook group, right? It's completely free. It's called Plugged In the Credit Clubhouse. So if you look at the little sticky note over here, I think it is, where my screen at? Yeah, it's over here. It says Markia B, aka the Money Plug. That's my Facebook page name. And if you look under groups on my page, you'll see it there. Oof, I've been live for an hour. Let me tell y'all, this is not water. Is it worth doing credit repair even if the collections and debt I have on my report are valid? Well, that just depends on you. Are you willing to send in the letters to negotiate settlements with these accounts to try to have them removed? Are you willing to settle the accounts? Like, so a lot goes into whether or not, right, you're ready for credit repair, or if you even need credit repair. A lot of times people just need to push in the right direction. I had 2 pledge loans, one for 1K and one for 3K. Should my credit go up? No. Just adding accounts is not going to make your credit go up. The account itself is not going to make your credit grow up. It's what you do with the accounts that you have currently reporting on your credit report. So you got to think about it like that. Do you have a good mix of accounts? Are you paying on time for your credit cards? Do you have consistently low reporting utilization? Do you have on-time payments with those? Like, a lot goes kind of into that decision on how many points they're going to give you for shit. Yeah. I've been crafting for the last hour. Oh, what you make? Oh, I keep saying I'm going to pull out my machine. And I don't got nowhere to put it. Listen, I still haven't even put my room back in order from when they replaced the windows in my office, if you want me to be honest with you guys. That's why if not y'all, but on TikTok, so my background's still blurry. Y'all don't see my pops all right there. I opened and closed an account this week. No, what happened? Damn, I hate when I hear that y'all had to close an account. Like, I'd rather go through this now instead of having to worry about a mortgage. But my goal is to try to get a house in 2023, 2024. That's that's an attainable goal. You're giving yourself enough time to work towards it. You're giving yourself grace, forgiving yourself for the mistakes that you made initially, right? And you're willing to put in that work to make those changes. And that's the most important part. Ooh, I can't tell you how excited I am for next week. Oh, wait, I did not see this question. Oh my God. Do you suggest anything for teaching younger kids financial literacy? I want to ensure it's normalized in my house, but my kids are really young, not planning for the future. I really hope you're still on here or you watch this later. But something I want to suggest for you guys. So for those of you who don't know, I've been homeschooling my kids for the last 3 years. And something that we used, where is it? Let me see if I can pull up the website. What is it? I'm about to see if I can pull it up. I know Instagram, y'all not going to be able to see it. So the website is goalsetter.co. And I'm going to share my screen so that you guys on like Facebook and TikTok and shit can see it. Chrome tab. Here we go. Okay, so here it is right here. So it was voted 2022 best personal finance product. It got the FinTech Breakthrough Award. It's amazing. It's an app. And it's early education, lifelong lesson. Like, when I tell y'all, like, first of all, the marketing for this is phenomenal. But man, it teaches you everything. And it's like, yeah, my kids learned something, but I also learned stuff. They offer licensing for schools or like, you know, just learning programs in general. Get started. I'll show you guys this. You would put your phone number in and hit send. It's going to send something to your phone for you to download the app. You're going to download it. Now, if you have kids, I suggest putting it on like something that's like that you all use, like maybe like an iPad or something. Oh, she said I'm definitely still here. So yeah, so that's that. So that is what I suggest. It's complete financial literacy software, I guess you call it. It's really creative in how it captures kids' attention and makes it very relative. Like they get it, right? I'm not beating them over the head. Now y'all know. Listen, homeschooling was hard, okay? But I didn't have to beat my kids over the head to do these lessons. They wanted to do them. They looked forward to doing them. And we enjoyed them as a family. So if any of you are thinking about educating your children, I highly suggest the Goal Setter app. You got to pay for it, but it's worth it. What happened was the kids can't fit clothes from Children's Place no more. They came and didn't fit. No. I need to open my military star card up or permanently close it. No, for real, you do. Let me tell you, because I'm using the shit out my Star card around like Christmas time or like that. Well, because it's always tax free anyway. So like school shopping and shit. Is PenFed good? Yes, it is. That reminded me of that year, my daughter. So my kids weren't always homeschooled. And my daughters, it was like I would buy her jeans and like she would wear the jeans that week. And then she would come home with like holes in her knees, bro. Like what? So I used to just put iron-on patches over the holes on her pants because I was not. It was close to the end of the school year. I'm not buying you no more jeans, bro. It's goalsetter.co. All I could think about is that meme when they say if Johnny had 5 apples, no cap. That's how probably like the first 6 months of homeschool went for us. And it was cool. I will say this. Homeschooling opened my eyes to, I guess, what they call conscious parenting. But it opened my eyes to the fact that I didn't want to raise my kids the way that I was raised. Not that there was anything wrong with the way that I was raised, but as time has changed, how we mold our children also needed to change. And so I learned about being more empathetic to my kids, giving them more of a voice, allowing them to express their feelings, especially because their primary source of communication was with me when we were homeschooling, especially like when we couldn't go to co-op and stuff like that at like the height of COVID. And, in Germany, it's illegal. You guys know we were living in Germany for a while. In Germany, it's illegal to homeschool your children unless you're in the military. And so then when the base was restricted and you couldn't meet up in groups of like whatever, literally we were the only outside communication my kids got outside of each other. And so it just, I don't know. Once I started listening to my kids and they started feeling more comfortable talking, I started seeing what really worked for them. And that's how we found out about Goal Setter. How about the little girl wearing medium Old Navy? Son can still wear 20 Husky at Kohl's. Girl, I don't want to talk about Old Navy. I had a trunk full of these stuff, okay? Between my kids and my sister-in-law, like they cleaned me out. Do you hear me? Out. Oh, I don't miss this part of school. Homeschool, we was all in here wearing pajamas. Oh, I'm just disgusted at how much money I had to spend on school clothes. And then the crazy thing is I didn't even buy no whole bunch because the weather finna change. So, but yeah, I was irritated about that. I'm ready to cry. Not cry. I understand that 100%. Definitely agree. It makes a huge difference in communication. Yeah, for sure. It also made me appreciate my kids more because before we were homeschooling, I was active duty military for all of my kids' lives. So they had only ever seen mommy is here, mommy is dropping me off, and mommy is picking me up 13 hours later. And then I'm going to go home and go to sleep and we're going to do it all over again. And then the weekends, mommy is tired, so mommy's sleeping. So it was just like, they never got to spend so much time with me. So it was really cool, like reconnecting and like getting to know my kids now and stuff. I know them a little too well now, but I definitely, if you guys have the resources and the time and the patience, okay, I highly suggest homeschool. Not enough Black families are homeschooling because I was getting real tired of being the only Black family in co-op. I don't got nothing else for y'all. I've been answering all y'all questions. Y'all got any more questions before I hop off of here? I've been live for an hour. It's getting hot. I'm not sure if it's getting hot because I'm drinking this wine or what. Only reason I went live is because I posted a YouTube video right before I went live. It's called How the Fuck is Credit Scores Calculated? And it really breaks down not only the 5 categories that are used to calculate your credit score, but it also breaks down the different types of credit score. So your FICO bank card score, your FICO mortgage score, your FICO auto score, your Vantage score 3.0, talks about all those things. So please, please, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've literally managed to monetize almost every single one of my platforms with the exception of Pinterest and YouTube. And you guys, please, I have 200,000 followers on TikTok. Like, why can't y'all just go like my YouTube channel? Why can't y'all just go like my YouTube channel? I would very much appreciate it. Oh, child, it is 9:52. I'm going to bed. So y'all know what I always say. Live every day like it's your last, but pay your bills and wear condoms just in case it's not. And if you guys want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/themoneyplug. I'm on Facebook at Markia B, aka the Money Plug. I'm on YouTube at WWTMPD. What would the Money Plug do? And I'm on TikTok. If you guys aren't watching from TikTok, I'm on TikTok at themoneyplug.co, which is also my website if you guys need anything, need to purchase some DIY templates or anything like that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Homeschool stressed me out. I use sinking funds for kids' clothes, but mine aren't in school yet. It works. Damn. No. It's goal setter. I'll put it in the comments. Goal setter. Ooh. There we go. Oop. No. Okay, so yeah, that's it right there. Where's the budget at again on the site? Oh, yes. So if you click the link in my bio, it'll take you to my quick links page. And there is like a free budget template available for you guys that runs from now to the end of the year. There are enough month slots. And then at the end of the month slots, you'll see like a debt tracker. And I want you guys to pick a credit card, right? Pick one credit card, and we're going to use this credit card for your holiday shopping. But first, you got to get your balance down, right? So I want you to use that PDF to, get your balance down, kind of hold yourself accountable. I'm counting on you to do the right thing, right? Get that credit card down because it's time to start Christmas shopping soon. So if you guys need, if you just want to take a look at it, maybe you need a budget but never really thought about what would be on your budget or don't really know what categories you need or even how to start one. It's completely free. All you have to do is click the link in my bio or go to themoneyplug.co and then click on quick links in the menu and it'll take you right to it. There's a button that you'll click on and you'll be able to download it just like that. I also have a full planner. It's 22-23. So, it's 2022 from January to December. So you got a couple months left. But if you just want to support, you could always go on Amazon and type Markia Brown or plug into 2022. I don't celebrate Christmas, nor do I have children. Well, you can buy me a gift, shit. I feel like Christmas is definitely for kids because me and my husband don't last past like December 5th giving each other gifts. So I'm excited for our Elf on the Shelf this year. If any of y'all been following me since last year, y'all know why I'm so excited about this Elf on the Shelf. But that video started getting some more traction too, low key. So, but I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, y'all. This wine got me feeling good. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. Make sure you guys check out my content. Support, right? Support is free. All you guys got to do is like my pages, send my videos to your family, and all that other stuff. So I'm excited. My husband is going to like that idea. He the one that fucking gave it to me. He actually bought me dinner. He's really sweet. You guys are so, of course you're welcome, Angie, girl. But all right, I'm going to let you guys go. I'll talk to you guys. So I'm going to be really busy Tuesday or Wednesday. But if you guys need anything, you guys have my email address and everything else. But I probably won't be able to get back to you until Friday. So don't hold it against me. But I'll see you guys on Friday for our weekly Q&A at 6 o'clock-ish. Now, y'all know I don't know CP time. So that could be anywhere from 6 p.m. to like 8. But I'll be live again on Friday. Bye, everybody.